Welcome to DTC-MTV Product Review.
Hi DTCers, are you there? Are you in there? Yes, I see you.
With your host,
from the Busby Empire
and magician for hire,
spanning the globe,
DTC's very own.
I've been hopping on water.
Guy Portlock.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I kind of like it. Remember, in their hearts, not in their face. Shaboosh. Busy. I'm not saying that. See you, man. It's not even a man, it's a woman. DTCers, product review time. How you doing? Very excited to see you. Great to see you, in fact. You should never make predictions in life. Look what happened to Keegan in that football game. But millions of people do make predictions. You shouldn't be afraid to be wrong. So I'm going to make one. I think this next product will sell very well, and I think a lot of people, a lot of people are going to buy it and are going to have great fun with it. It is from the Magic Apple, the DarkSIDE Deck. In fact, that's the light side in my office, near the window. DarkSIDE Deck. Vader. Actually, anything called the dark side is a big thing of me because I loved Star Wars. Quick story. When I was younger, I was desperate to get the Star Wars wallpaper. And it all came and I was dead excited. Put it all up. But the problem was each of the drops had to line up with the other one. And when I had a first quick glance over it, yeah, brilliant. When I went to bed that night, I realised that the wallpaper wasn't quite right. And you had like the back, or sort of Princess Leia, and then the back end of her was like the back of Chewbacca. So you had Princess Leia with a sort of hairy behind, and things like, what was his name? Jabba the Hutt, sloth. He was coming out the back end of R2-D2, so it made it look like there was some malfunction at the back. It didn't bother me though, because back then, I just made it, they were just new characters in the thing, and I could create whole new storylines. Anyway, this is the back, and that's the front. The DarkSIDE Deck. This is a really good idea. Because, well, it's an old principle. It's a deck that we all know and all love, okay? But it's been reworked with this chap, Lucas Allen, who I really like. I think he comes across really well. Has come up with some brilliant ideas for this deck. And the routines are going to get really good reactions. The DVD is really well put out. It's clear. There's a bit of history there. There's clear explanations, there's good live performances, and I like his performance because he really does sort of make them as strong as possible and put them across really well. As I said, I got a feeling people are going to love this. What are the routines? Well, here's a few for examples. I think a very strong one, the lottery one. You show this deck, front and back, you talk about the lottery and you say, look, I'm going to see if you can predict the lottery. Now, I've made a kind of prediction here, and then you go through and say, I'm going to go through it, I want you to stop at a card. So they stop, you put it down, face up. Another one, face up. Now in America there seems to be 4 numbers in the lottery, which, if I think about it, it means it's easier for them to win than it is over here. But anyway, if you're doing it in US, do it with 4, if it's over here, 6. You do it, and then you've got the 4 or 6 cards out in front of you. You say that's spooky. There's predictions, and there's this. You know how hard it is to win the lottery, all that, shaboodle. You then show the back of all the other cards, blank. You then turn over the cards that they've chosen, and they've got a cross on them, showing the lucky numbers, the winning numbers. Brilliant. There's other things. There's things like the serial killer, and you talk about the serial killer who, whenever he made a murder, he left a playing card. And we're going to try and get into this role. Let's try, and you can build it up as much as you want or whatever. You go through the deck, you say stop at any time, they say stop. You give them the card and say look, and you show them the backs of every other card blank. They turn over theirs and it's got like blood dripped on it and stuff like that. Really strong moment, quite a good thing for Halloween or whatever that. Wouldn't do it to the wedding couple, I guess. But then there's another thing where he goes up to two ladies and says, this is like a personality thing. And you could do this after you've sort of conversed with a couple of people with other routines. So there's something you do here which is quite fascinating. I'm just going to go through these cards and I want you to say stop when you get a feeling. Just when you get this kind of, there'll just be a moment that'll just come over you. And I don't think you're going to be the same, but we'll try it with you. And they go through it and they stop. You show all the other cards blank, blank backs. Nothing on them. They turn over theirs and there's a cross on there, or you could write this was the card I thought you'd choose, or whatever you want. It's up to you, I guess. Again, another strong moment. There's a Russian roulette one where there's all click 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 on all the other ones than the one they've chosen, which says bang. You know, brilliant. I suppose it's not brilliant that they've chosen a card that means they're going to shoot themselves, but you know what I mean. And there's also a nice one, I think it's on the demo, where you go through and you can build up as much as you want, and then they choose the card, it goes out front, and then the card next to it you turn over, and that's got an arrow pointing in, and the other one has got an arrow pointing in, and then you spread the other ones out if you have a surface, and the arrows are all pointing to this one card. Very visual, and on there it says, this is your card, or this is one I knew you'd choose, or whatever you want. Really strong stuff. There's some really good thinking going on here, and the key to this is everyone's going to love it. In fact, it scares me, in fact, because it's so easy to do that everyone's going to be doing this and they're going to get great reactions. I personally, as I said, if you watch this product review much, you kind of know that I'm not a massive gimmick fan, but I'd almost be tempted to have it in my pocket, doing all my other routines, handing the deck out, they can shuffle, and then at the right moment just think, do you know what, I could put that away, bring out this deck and still get great reactions, and they ain't going to suspect anything because they've been handling my other cards all the other time. So use these wisely, you'll get great reactions. I would, although it's tempting to do it over and over again, I would kind of use it the right time. Here comes the issue. And this is the one issue you're going to find, is that there's a whole host of great routines on here, but you will only be able to choose one of them, because once you mark the cards in a certain way, depending on what routine you want to do, you're going to need another deck and mark it up in a different way for a different routine, which means that either you're going to have to buy more than one DarkSIDE deck, or, as he shows you, you can prepare your own. But I believe with the hassle of all that, you might as well buy another deck. I mean, in fact, if you love all the routines, you can have 6 different decks set up, or 7, and then that night as you're going out and performing, say, what am I going to do now? Should I'll do the Russian roulette routine. That goes in your pocket, and off you go. So I just think it's some really good thinking. The DVD in itself is really nicely done. It's to the point. It's simple. The explanations are there. It's the cool looking DVD as well. And I think this is a really good DVD, which a lot of people are going to get a lot of fun out of. So it's brilliant for the hobbyist. You can't get stronger than some of these things. 4.8, and it's really good for the worker, as long as you don't mind having an extra deck in your pocket. So I'm going to go 4.6 for the worker. There it is, the DarkSIDE Deck by Lucas Allen, Magic Apple. So, to me, to you, all the best. Backstroke, front crawl, or breaststroke. We do it all here, all the tip top, shovel ups.
Thank you for watching DTC-MTV Product Review.